What if everything you've been told about $1 million retirement is wrong? For years, people have believed that hitting $1 million means you're set for life, safe, comfortable, stress-free. But here's the uncomfortable truth. In today's world, $1 million might not give you the retirement you're imagining, and even $2 million or $3 million may not feel as secure as you think. Because retirement isn't about how much money you have. It's about what that money actually does for you every single month. And today, we're going to break that down in a way most people never do. In this video, you're going to see exactly how much income you can expect from $1 million, $2 million, and $3 million in retirement. We'll look at real numbers. We'll compare what happens with and without Social Security. And most importantly, we'll translate those numbers into real life in the United States. Housing, healthcare, daily living, lifestyle. Because numbers don't matter unless you can feel them. And once you see this, your entire view of retirement planning might change. Here's the problem. Most people think about retirement as a savings goal. I need $1 million. I need $2 million. But retirement doesn't work like that. You don't live on a lump sum. You live on income, monthly income, predictable income, sustainable income. And if that income isn't enough, it doesn't matter how big your portfolio looks on paper. You'll feel it in your daily life, in your decisions, in your stress. Before we break down the numbers, there's one simple concept you need to understand: the 4% rule. It's a widely used guideline in the US that suggests you can withdraw about 4% of your retirement savings each year, adjusted for inflation, without running out of money too quickly. It's not perfect, markets change, life changes, but it gives us a realistic baseline. And once you apply it, you start to see what these big numbers really mean. Let's start with $1 million. Using the 4% rule, that gives you about $40,000 per year. That's roughly $3,300 per month. Now, stop for a second. Imagine living in the United States on $3,300 a month. For some, that might work in lower-cost areas, but for many Americans, that's tight, very tight. Rent or property taxes alone can take a huge portion of that. Healthcare costs increase as you age. Groceries, utilities, insurance, transportation. It all adds up faster than most people expect. This is the part no one talks about. $1 million sounds like freedom, but in reality, it often means careful budgeting and constant awareness of spending. Now, let's add Social Security. The average benefit in the U.S. is around $1,800 to $2,200 per month, depending on your work history. Let's say you receive $2,000 per month. That's an extra $24,000 a year. Now your total income becomes about $64,000 annually, or around $5,300 per month. Feel the difference? This is where retirement starts to shift. You're no longer just surviving. You have breathing room. You can handle unexpected expenses. Maybe travel occasionally. Maybe help your family. Social Security for many Americans isn't just a bonus. It's the difference between stress and stability. But here's where things get uncomfortable. What if Social Security is delayed, reduced, or not part of your plan? Without it, you're back to $3,300 per month. And suddenly, that $1 million retirement feels fragile. This is why relying on a single number can be dangerous, because the context changes everything. Now let's move to $2 million. At 4%, that gives you $80,000 per year. That's about $6,600 per month. Now we're in a different category. This is where many middle-class American retirees start to feel comfortable. You can cover your essentials, you can absorb rising costs, and you can enjoy life a little. Dining out occasionally, traveling once or twice a year, pursuing hobbies. This is no longer survival. This is stability with flexibility. Add Social Security again, and now you're looking at roughly $104,000 per year, or about $8,600 per month. At this level, you're not just managing expenses, you're making choices. Where to travel, how often to go out, what kind of lifestyle you want to maintain. For many Americans, this is the sweet spot of retirement. Now let's go one step further. $3 million. At 4%, that's $120,000 per year, or about $10,000 per month. Now everything changes. This is where retirement becomes less about limits and more about options. You're not constantly thinking about money, you're thinking about how to enjoy your time. Travel becomes easier, healthcare costs are less stressful, unexpected expenses don't shake your confidence. Add Social Security on top of that, and now you're around $144,000 per year. That's about $12,000 per month. At this point, you're not just financially secure, you're financially flexible. And that's a completely different experience. Here's something most people don't realize. The difference between $3,300, $6,600, and $10,000 per month isn't just financial, it's psychological. At lower income levels, you think about every decision. Every expense has weight. At higher levels, you gain mental freedom. You worry less, you enjoy more. And that shift in mindset is just as important as the money itself. But before you assume bigger is always better, there are risks. Inflation quietly reduces your purchasing power over time. Healthcare costs in the U.S. can rise faster than expected, and retirement can last 25 to 30 years or more. That means your money isn't just supporting your life today, it's supporting your future self decades from now. And that requires planning beyond simple numbers. Let's bring this down to reality. At $3,300 per month, you're managing, careful, aware, limited. At $6,600 per month, you're comfortable, stable, balanced, controlled. At $10,000 per month, you're flexible, confident, relaxed, secure. And at $12,000 per month, you're free to choose, free to enjoy, free to live on your terms. Same country, same retirement phase, completely different lives. Most people chase a number without understanding what that number actually does. They focus on saving, but ignore income planning. They assume things will work out, but don't test their assumptions. And by the time they realize the gap, it's harder to fix. Start thinking differently. Don't ask, how much do I need? Ask, how much income do I want every month? Build your plan around that. Factor in Social Security, but don't depend on it completely. Account for inflation, and most importantly, be honest about the lifestyle you want, because once you define that, your target becomes clear. At the end of the day, $1 million, $2 million, even $3 million, they're just numbers. What really matters is what those numbers turn into: monthly income, daily comfort, long-term peace of mind. Because retirement isn't about hitting a milestone, it's about sustaining a life. And the sooner you understand that, the better decisions you'll make.